flashlight trembling in my hand, dust in the air, cold on my neck, names on the walls that nobody wrote. Door swings wide, no one there to check. Old house breathing like it's alive. Floorboards creak, something replies. Ask one question into the dark. Get three whispers hitting my spine. Got my paranormal playbook, turn the page, see the dead talk, every rule that they gave me falls apart when the clock stops. Paranormal playbook, say the names, watch the room shake. If I cross the line in the hallway, will I walk back out awake?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
As you-
Says hello as well.
Did that just go on?
What's that?
Did that just go on at that moment?
Yeah, so it's been going on and off for the past few minutes, and for anybody that is watching who doesn't know, that's one of the twist flashlights that we're using for communication as well. But yeah, it just went on literally and the live, and then I'm not kidding you, literally right after that goes on and we go live, on the necrometer it says, "Now you want to talk."
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I think this is going to be good.
Yeah, we're already starting off pretty hot.
We're going to have fun tonight. So, a couple of things that people will notice are a little bit different. First of all, I'm not in my usual setting once again. Our episode 2 weeks ago, I was not in my usual setting. Tonight, I am sitting in the attic of the infamously haunted Bellaire house. And the other change is that tonight, as you can see, my co-host is none other than Noah Flynn, who's been on our show a couple of times.
What's up, guys? Yeah, as you can see, I'm not Rachel. But yeah, so I mean, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you all for having me. And if you guys couldn't tell as well, I'm at the Bellaire house too. I'm just in the basement side of the Bellaire house, and we're filming an episode out here. Super excited to be doing that. But yeah, we're already starting off hot.
Before we jump in, I'm going to talk about tonight's sponsors real quick.
Yeah.
Tonight's episode is brought to you by Foul Deeds, starring horror icon Ari Lehman, the original Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. This Kickstarter campaign for Foul Deeds is now live and has a lot of exciting perks available for campaign backers, including acting roles, producer credits, autographed CDs, and more. You can join Forever Entertainment by donating to the campaign today. Our second sponsor tonight is brought to you by Final Girl's Heartbreaker line. The Heartbreaker series, now available at scarezone.net. Final Girl is a horror-inspired lifestyle brand built for survivors and fans alike, celebrating resilience, rebellion, and the will to outlast whatever comes for you. Join us today at scarezone.net and help support your favorite models by purchasing from our large selection of available merchandise. You can even support myself, Christopher Lee Jansen, as one of our models with the Heartbreaker line. So check it out. There's a lot of amazing people involved with this project. I think you'll really love what you see there. One of the things we have planned tonight, so just like last time, I'm on my phone and I can't see comments. So if I am doing this, it's because I can't see. I can see that Kim is here. Hello.
Hi, Kim.
I just can't see what you're saying.
So I think I can hear it says, "Oh, it went away." Said woo live investigation with the booze and besties. Sick intro. So excited for tonight. We are too. This is absolutely insane. We haven't gotten to do an investigation while doing a podcast before, so this is gonna be awesome.
No, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So I think I'd like to start just by giving people a little bit of history about where we're at and why we're here. So this house was built by, first of all, the Bellaire house is in Bellaire, Ohio, for those that might not be familiar. Bellaire is known for, well, a number of things. I'll talk about the paranormal things it's known for. Some of the other things we don't need to talk about on the show. But energetically, there have been mining disasters in this town. There have been a number of floods, as Bellaire is located right on the river. There's ley lines that run through here. It's said that this house is built on top of native burial grounds. There's all kinds of things that make Bellaire a super active place. This house was built by the Hetherington family, who was a mining family back in the day. And there were a number of generations of Hetheringtons who lived here. Those who are the most well-known would be Alexander Hetherington, who had been declared insane and was committed to the Ridges in Athens, Ohio back in the day. And then also brother and sister Edwin and Lyde Hetherington. So Lyde, or Eliza Hetherington, as was her full name, was very much like a mother to Edwin, not just a sister. And when Lyde passed away of a heart attack, it's said that Edwin brought in a number of spiritualists and mediums to try to connect to Lyde through his grief over having lost his sister. And from there, it seems that doorways or portals were opened in this house. And since then, it's just been a chain reaction between the things that happened to the Hetherington family, other families moving in, coming and going. There's stories of people having fallen or jumped out the attic windows here. The owner shared a story of being held down in one of the upstairs bedrooms by an unseen force. One thing I am going to put out there, if you go and do your own research on the history of this house, if you look at the actual house's website, if you read it, you're going to think I'm crazy because nothing on there is going to line up with what I just said. Because for whatever reason, the history on the house's actual website is incorrect. We're still trying to figure that out, and we're still asking questions and trying to find out why the actual website has the history presented incorrectly. Just wanted to put that out there.
No,
I can't let it go.
No, I can't either, and that's been a big topic, the past couple days. Kim just commented, wanting to know the context. Front lawn. She wanted the context as to why I've been looking around, and I mean, I guess the short answer is I've been hearing all kinds of movement, is what I want to call it, around me. So I've just been kind of looking around. But so I've had a couple things come on the necrometer. What was just said that you might have heard was it said the front lawn. I don't know what the thing about that is. What's funny is that like I swear to you, like the flashlight that you can see that's on in the background, that went on and off like 3-4 times before we went live, and it's just been on the entire time. So if there's anybody down here that did make that flashlight go on, can you go ahead and make that go off for me? We'll see how that goes. But it's weird. I just was like, it's been on this entire time, and it went off and on like 3 or 4 times before we actually went live.
Would you like to explain a little bit for anybody that doesn't know how the necrometer and the flashlights work and what the intentions are?
Yeah, absolutely. So the quickest one to explain is the flashlight, because it's really just a normal little like twist flashlight. that you can buy literally anywhere. And what you do essentially is you twist it to where like it would go off, or like basically like where it's so loose that any little tap it'll essentially go off. So the belief behind that is that either the spirits are actually just twisting it ever so lightly to turn it on, or they're using their energy to turn it on. But it's kind of tricky, and it's something that I know our team has kind of been working on for a while, trying to perfect it, because you got to get it there ever so slightly for it to work right. Um, the Necrometer is actually a phone app that anybody can get, and I've used a bunch of different phone apps, and the best one that I've come across, or at least the one that I like the most, is the Necrometer. And it's because while a lot of the other phone apps have detecting energy, as it just said, and back to what I was saying about the Necrometer, is essentially that other phone apps, they have kind of like the Ovilus. They have pre-existing words or phrases that are built into them, and it's basically using an algorithm to basically choose what words are being said that the spirits are manipulating. The difference with the necrometer is, instead of it being full words or phrases that are programmed into it, it's single letter and double letter combinations. So any word or phrase that is put together on the necrometer, it was actually strung together by single and double letter combos. So to me, it's a lot harder to explain, is like how you got a full sentence or how you got even a word, because you know that those were strung together. So I've always really liked the necrometer. I think it's awesome, the way that it works. I've got a few different things down here. It says, I hope you're well. Says, wow, like I said, we've been like red hot since we got down here. The first thing it just said was, I hope you're well. And then it said, I didn't want this to happen. Like, it's crazy. Watching? I'm telling you, it's red hot right now. It's red hot. I've got a music box that's sitting behind me. It hasn't went off quite yet. I've got an EMF detector which detects electromagnetic fields in the air. But as I kind of tell everybody with those kinds of things, is when you have something like an EMF detector that detects electromagnetic fields, you have to be careful with believing that everything is paranormal with them, because they do pick up on like bad wiring, because bad wiring gives off electromagnetic fields and stuff like that. But I was like kind of like waving it around the room before we started to like see if there was any bad lighting, and I haven't had a single one. So whenever this goes off, it's a little bit more like, all right, I think that might be something, because I don't seem to have any bad wiring down here.
Now it's my turn to be looking around.
You hearing some stuff?
Yeah, it's waking up here. It started with what sounded like breathing in the corner.
Really?
That's the first time I've ever heard that up here. I mean, last night when I did my solo up here, there were all kinds of noises coming from the left and the right, but nothing like that. And now it actually sounded like a couple of footsteps from the same corner.
Right.
Something up here is waking up.
Well, that's like something that I can kind of talk about, before we got on the live, that I like, that obviously about. But so before we got on the live, both Christopher and I went to just kind of take a quick little like power nap, because we just been so busy over here that we were tired. So we was taking a little power nap, and I chose the back bedroom of the Bellaire house to sleep in, which is historically known to be the house that previous owners and the current owner have had a lot of issues with that back bedroom. Like I think there's one story where supposedly Kristen was like being held down in that bed that she talks about. And so what's weird is I haven't had a leg cramp or a calf cramp in like years. Like I'm talking back in high school when I used to play sports is the last time I had a leg cramp. That's been like, well over 8 years at this point. And so I wake up from my nap, or I guess I should say I was woken up from my nap. But it literally, the moment I wake up, I have the worst calf cramp that I've ever had. I tried to play it off like it didn't hurt, but man, did it hurt. And I know you guys could tell it like I was in pain at that point. Like
Yeah, I
I
could
couldn't
tell you were in pain.
I couldn't stand. Like it eventually went away, and I was able to stand up and walk down. So I was thankful for that. And then what's weird is the fact that as I was walking down to the basement to get here to do to do the podcast, it's gone away. Like I barely even feel it now.
Now the noises up here are coming from a different corner. It actually sounded like, for a moment, like somebody just came and stood over right next to this couch.
Well, literally the moment that you said, there was a loud thump to my left. Like loud thump.
Well, I'll tell everybody what happened when I went to take a nap. I was in a different room on the same floor, a room that I associate with Alexander Hetherington because it's got copies of his committal paperwork framed on the dresser. Last night, before I went to sleep in that room, I mean, obviously, we had a very intense session with Alexander last night.
Right.
So when I went to go sleep in that room, I spoke a few words to him and said, I hope after the session you're doing okay. I hope we did something to help you. I mean, selfishly, the main reason I did it was because I wanted a peaceful night's sleep. I wanted to be left alone in that room.
Right.
So when I went to take my nap, I did that again. I said, I hope you're okay. And when I woke up, there was a feather on the bed. There's long orange and brown and white feather on the bed. There's no down comforter on the bed. There's no pillows on the bed. There's just a stark gray sheet. There's no way I wouldn't have seen this when I went to lay down.
Right.
So I looked over on the dresser when I got up. There's 2 feathers on there, and they both have beads attached to them. They look like they came off of an old dream catcher. Still doesn't explain how 1 feather ended up on the bed while I was taking a nap.
No, it doesn't. Well, and then even you think about like the way that it looked so perfectly, that you would have thought that if it was there, it would have like looked almost mangled in a way with you laying on it.
Right. It almost made me want, was something flying around the room?
I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was you.
That would be horrible.
Yeah. I got more, like right behind me. Like, so do you know that like little like lawn chair looking thing? Actually, I think you can see it right here.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not like, it sounded like the sound that would make, like if you slightly picked it up and like sat it back down or moved it, that's what it sounded like. Cause like you can't really see him obviously, but like, cause I've got my dad and my brother here for the investigation as well. And my dad's actually here to my right. He's just a little bit more camera shy than I am, but he was down here with me and I heard the noise. I thought it was him. So I looked over and it wasn't him. Like there's all kinds of movement like down here.
Tell everybody what the necrometer said when you first turned it on.
Oh, dude, it's the funniest thing ever. So I literally had just sat down, turned this thing on, and Dad helped me set up the flashlight in the back. And at that point, it was off. And so literally I started to talk to you, and the flashlight comes on, and immediately after that, it says trash.
There they go talking shit again.
Dude, I don't know, man. Like, I wake up from my nap with a leg cramp. It's calling me trash. I got a feeling that something doesn't like me down here.
I get the feeling there's I get the feeling there's a number of things here that don't like us right now.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Can you see what the comment says?
Yeah, it says, "Oh my God, if that blanket drops, Noah's going to also project himself beside Chris."
He'll just
Yeah,
magically be up 2 floors.
see, and I'm like hoping it does. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see somebody turn off the flashlight. It's been on for a minute. That'd be cool. Maybe it's like reverse psychology. Maybe if I tell you to keep it on, they'll turn it off.
That seems about right. So what else you got down there with you?
Uh, the only other thing I think that I haven't mentioned is the Envoy box. I don't have it turned on quite yet, but yeah. So I've got the music box that's sitting directly behind me. In case anybody wants to come down the stairs and join me down here. Obviously, I got the flashlight, the EMF detector, and the necrometer, and then, like I said, the Envoy box, which um, for anybody that's interested in what the Envoy box is, it's a device that was created by Ghost Shop, and it's got a few different modes in it. It has one. The necrometer just said a symphony of destruction. Like that. But
That's a
so the
Megadeth song. It is.
some I know. like like are you just saying it is a symphony of destruction? Or are you wanting somebody to play that music?
There was just
But
a
anyway,
really loud noise from over in the corner. It sounded like somebody threw something at the wall.
oh really? That's funny. I've been getting all kinds of movement down here myself. So weird. But yeah, the Envoy box, it's got a few different modes to it. I'll go ahead and grab it. But so it looks like this. And the Envoy box, it's got a few different modes. One of them is horrible. Now it called me horrible. Um, one of the modes is an alphabetic mode. It's got a yes and no mode. It's got a face mode where it'll like show different emotions. It's got a numbers mode, and essentially it's got three different ways that it can detect paranormal activity. And there are on these little knobs here that you can kind of adjust and mess with and stuff. One of them is an EMF detector, which is typically my favorite because I feel like in paranormal investigating, EMF is typically the most reliable. But it also has a temperature gauge, and it has touch. So, and you can turn those on or off at any point. But I typically just run with the EMF again because that's what I typically find to be the best um, actual detector of paranormal activity occurring. However, the other two are great as well. Like especially when it fluctuates the difference in temperature in a room, and then also with the little touch feature. I've just found that the touch feature is especially really rare to happen.
Yeah, I agree. I like the yes no feature. I mean, that has seemed to line up for us before. That's worked well, I think.
I think that's the best mode that it has. Not like the alphabet one. When I first got it, that was the one that I was the most interested in, but I've never actually had success. And I think a lot of times it's because it's going too fast that it can't properly spell things out. But the yes and no, it goes at a good pace. So it I think it does pretty well in the yes and no mode.
Did Kim say something about an orb? I can't see.
Yeah, it says orb action on Chris's end. One flew by the bottom of your shoulders.
I have been looking that direction, but well, I said it sounded like somebody came and stood over next to me on the side of the couch. So
Yeah.
it's been active over there.
Well, and then at the same time that you're looking over by the crawl space. So first of all, I've had this word come up twice now. The first time was before we went live, and I was just sitting down here, and as it came up, the EMF detector went off at the exact same time. But it said hall. I don't know if it's talking about the hallway on the second floor or not, but it said hall. But then it also just gave us a name, Maryland.
All right, that's not a name I think I've ever gotten here before.
No. EMF detector just went off again.
I will say that hallway on the second floor does not make me feel good.
No, I've never felt good.
I don't
Anywhere
like
really
being
on
in
the
that
second floor.
hallway at all. Like even going short distance from one room to the other, which the rooms are very close together. Still, I feel like I need to get there as quickly as I can. I don't want to be in that hallway.
Right. No, I completely agree with that. With with that.
I feel better up here in the attic than I do in that hallway. I'm very drawn to this attic, though, as you know.
Right.
In a little bit, I think I'll get up, unplug my phone, and like walk everybody around up here so people can actually see the space a little better.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
I was going to do a live board session tonight, but I realized that not being at my desk, I just don't have the setup for the camera and the board. It would never work. Like they'd
Right.
never be able to see something. So we'll have to save that for another time when I'm back home. But I'll walk everybody around up here in a little bit. You can see what I've been looking around at.
That sounds good.
Maybe anybody watching can tell us in the comments what they feel when looking around up here.
Kim just said yes, ghost tour.
I think you can feel just as much looking at something through the screen. I mean, at least I'm the kind of person that can.
Right.
I'll do that now. I'll get up and show
Yeah,
everybody
go ahead.
around up here.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's going to be kind of dark over in this corner, so I'm going to try to stay in the light. I don't know if you can all see immediately behind me. There's a crawl space. And next to the crawl space, there's a mirror propped up on the chair. Last night, during one of our sessions up here, or during my solo session, I kept focusing on that crawl space. It almost seemed to me like there was something in there. Now, I'm going to walk a little bit toward the light, so hopefully you'll be able to see a little more clearly. I think you can see the window.
You can see.
Behind me,
Well,
right?
I know you can see the mirror. I know you can see the mirror from that.
Trying to get the window.
Still waiting for somebody to turn the flashlight off.
There we go. I think now you can see the window, right?
A little bit. It is pretty dark up there.
They say that there have been a number of deaths, people falling from the attic windows. And there's been speculation as to what window it was. I don't think it was that one.
Yes. It just said yes.
This way.
Necrometer just said yes.
Some say I'm psychic. What can I say?
It was wonderful.
That's disturbing.
That's very disturbing.
Considering that people have said they've connected to something here that seems to make or try to make them feel drawn to the windows,
Yeah.
that's really disturbing.
Well, and then like whenever you think about something saying it was wonderful,
Right.
like that's oh, that makes your skin crawl.
That almost makes me sick, actually.
Yeah.
So this corner that I'm facing now is the corner I was focused on when I said I felt like it sounded like something was thrown at the wall. I'm going to go over to this other corner. There should be enough light that you can see the
Yeah.
bed and the
Yeah.
window.
Yeah.
That corner to me has always been the most problematic place in this attic. I've always felt the most strongly that that's the window that's caused the problems. That's also the window that faces the front yard. I didn't forget that the necrometer said front yard.
Right. Right. Yeah, actually. That is the window that's in front of the front lawn, and it did say that earlier.
Last night, when I went out to the car to get some things, I wanted to go out in the front yard. I wanted to go walk down the hill. I wanted to go to the tree. I was standing there and thinking about how much snow was still on the lawn and how wet it would be, and that's part of what slowed me down. Then I saw the lights up the hill that I came in and said, "Come tell me what I'm seeing." But last night, I was feeling a pull toward the front yard.
Right. So Kim just said, well, I feel really on edge for Noah. He has spooky basement vibes, but Chris has dark attic of terror vibes going on, waiting for the girl from the ring to crawl out.
That'd
Hey,
be
don't
kind of
feel
cool,
bad.
actually.
Hey, don't feel bad for me. I got a cool spirit. He just said beer. I got a party ghost down here, man. We're gonna have a good time down here. I guess I could do the same thing. I could kind of walk people around the basement a little bit for just a
Yeah.
little bit. Um, okay. I'll try to do the same as you as far as staying a little bit in the light here. But so this is the basement. You see,
Hi everyone.
well, hold on. Let me get. Here's my dad in the corner. He's kind of our unofficial special guest, camera guy for Crooked Path Paranormal. He's been helping me out. What's funny is like, so you talked about like the point in the attic that you've always felt is like the worst part, and actually, Dad's kind of sitting close to what I've always attributed to being the worst spot. When a light flickers,
Make it flicker.
make it flicker, please. That'd be cool. But actually, is this back corner right here? I've always attributed this corner with being the worst spot.
I was able to read that comment. Kim just asked if we're sleeping here. Yes, we are sleeping here. This will be the second night we've stayed.
I know the first night I slept here, I was fine. I didn't have anything. The second time, they gave me a leg cramp. There's not really, I guess, much to see down here that's not dark and creepy, but nah, it's all right. But yeah, I don't know. It is kind of creepy down here, but I don't know. I also just had a spirit offer me a beer, so it's not too bad.
Are you sure it was offering and not asking for one?
Wow, maybe. Kim just said, "Jesus, I just gasped when you showed Mark." Uh, yeah, does know his dad ghost hunt? Yes, he does. He actually pretty much goes on all of the ghost hunts that we do. He's official member of Crooked Path Paranormal. He's kind of like the official camera guy. He really helps me with getting the shots that I need for the film and stuff like that. So yeah, my dad always is out here. So he's actually really the one that got me into it. Back when I was a kid, we used to watch all the different paranormal shows, and I've grown up with my dad just watching all that stuff. So getting to be able to do that with him now has just been a dream come true, really. So yeah, he's always here with us. He's just typically behind the camera rather than in front.
And for bonus points, he's big into Bigfoot too. I got to put that out there because I love
He's
me some
extremely
Bigfoot.
into Bigfoot. Extremely into Bigfoot.
Got to put that out there because I love Bigfoot.
Bigfoot is cool. Bigfoot's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
It's even more cool when you think about our event that's coming up in July with Squatch Man.
Absolutely. The legendary Squatch Man, spirits and squatches at the sanatorium.
That's gonna be awesome.
It's going to be incredible.
I just had the necrometer go off and say death whistle. When it said that, I immediately thought of the Aztec death whistle.
That's the first thing that came to my mind. You ever hear one of those?
Yeah, they're creepy as I will be. What does that mean?
Someone brought one of those Aztec death whistles to FCI one night, and they stood in the first floor hallway between the morgue and the monkey room and let that thing go.
Dude. So it said I will be, and immediately afterwards showing up. I will be showing up.
Wow.
I will tap on something. We're red hot again, dude. I will tap on something. Can you tap on the light and turn it off? That'll impress me. That'd be cool. Guide? It just said guide.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. Are you saying it's one of our guides, or is that more like a threat?
Now to my right, it sounded like the best way I can describe it, it's like if someone were sitting on the floor and they got up.
Oh, really?
And now there was a noise from that corner that to me did sound a little bit like a tap. If you tapped on something, can you do that again?
You met detector just went off. What?
So far, I've not heard it again.
I heard something, and then it just said yes, and it sounded like one of the floorboards right here, like squeaking, like somebody was stepping on. Like
that just sounded like somebody crinkled paper.
that was loud.
Yeah, it was.
But I'd be surprised if the camera didn't catch that. No, I want to see him turn it off. There's all kinds of stuff going on down here.
Yeah, up here too. It sounded like somebody just balled up a piece of paper.
If there is somebody that's down here with me and wants to communicate, can you tell me? Williams? I didn't even finish that thought. Williams? I mean, or is it just saying William?
Right.
A comment from Mandy.
Hi, Mandy.
Hello. Kim says hi, Dad. My dad says hi, Kim.
Since Kim asked if we're spending the night here, I'll talk about some of my experiences spending the night here, since this is probably the 6th night I've spent in this house cumulatively now. I mean, not 6 nights in a row,
Yeah.
but over time. I mean, twice I've slept in the living room with absolutely no issues. Once I slept in the room you took a nap in, where you woke up with the cramp.
Right.
The room where the owner says she was being held down. I didn't have any issues in there. Last night, Alex's room, no issues. Took a nap today and woke up with a feather on the bed. The worst experience I had sleeping here, when I walked you around, you could see the bed in the corner.
Right.
I slept up here in the attic one night, which, knowing the energies of this space, I knew that was a bad idea, but I did it anyway because I don't always make the best decisions. In the morning, I woke up, went downstairs to use the bathroom. When I went to wash my hands, I looked in the mirror and I didn't look right. My eyes were not the color they should be. They were much darker. They were almost black. So I ended up taking a picture of it and leaving. I just got all my stuff and I left. And I went down to the river and did a cleansing ritual. And then, of course, there's more to the story, and I'm not quite going to put out there right now, but I am going to put this out there. Last night, we found out in looking at the papers on the dresser in what I consider to be Alex's room, he was declared insane on December 13th. The night that happened to me when I slept in the attic had been December 13th.
Manny just said he better have a beer ready. And hey, the spirit told me he'd have a beer, or told me either to get a beer or have a beer. I don't know which, but
I think after tonight's investigation, we're going to need one.
I'm definitely going to need a beer after this one.
Maybe instead of waking up and finding feathers on the bed, I'll wake up and find a beer sitting there.
I hope the next time I wake up, I don't wake up with another cramp and versus it's a beer. I'd like that much more.
I don't know. When I think about the symbolism of the feather, how much I just hate things that fly, I'm not taking that way, though. When I think about what I said just before I drifted off to sleep during that nap and said to Alex, I hope you're doing okay. I hope we were able to help you. I really feel like that feather was a sign that he's all right now.
Yeah, I hope so. And I think after the help we were able to give him last night, I think so. And I think that feather we can almost take as affirmation of that.
I agree. However, I'm still not opposed to waking up and finding a beer.
No, I think I'll always accept that. Be awesome.
That flashlight still hasn't gone off, huh?
I know. And like, listen, like people are gonna think I'm lying now, but I'm telling you, before we went live, it went off like 3 or 4 different times, on off, and what I'm waiting for is I swear to anything, if we end this live and then it goes off, I'm gonna be like, what? Because it's been on ever since we went live. It's been on the entire time. Hasn't went off. It's weird. But the noises just keep happening. I'm hearing all kinds of taps, everything.
There's been nonstop noises up here. Now, what I really wish would happen, this would be epic. There's a string attached from wall to wall over the bed, and there's a bell on it. If somebody could ring that bell, that would be amazing.
I wasn't cold, but right now, the like back of me is like ice cold right now. Like I don't know if there's something standing like directly, but like I was good this entire time. Like it really hasn't been cold, but all of a sudden I'm getting like this really, really, really cold sensation on my back.
It's actually hot up here. That was weird.
What?
I keep looking back to see if it was just my eyes playing tricks on me. I don't think you guys can see the crawl space, can you?
No, it's too dark.
When I first looked over at it, it looked solid. It looked completely solid, like there was no opening there in the wall.
What's that? You kind of cut out for a second.
When I first looked at the crawl space, it looked solid. It looked like there was no opening in the wall.
Uh huh.
And I keep looking back to see if just my eyes were playing tricks on me, but no, every time I look now, it's the crawl space.
That's
But
weird.
when I glanced that way a minute ago, it's like there was no opening there.
That's weird. So Kim just asked in the comments if we filmed the investigation. We are halfway through the investigation. We filmed last night, and then we have tonight as well. And if what we got from last night's is to hold up to any truth, tonight's investigation is going to be crazy. Which I mean, it's already kind of been because we've just been sitting down here for almost 50 minutes, and we've gotten how much stuff already happened. It's just said power.
That's interesting.
Definitively. That came up as I was trying to show this. Power and then definitively. Brian. Speech. It's like going off again. Brian. Speech.
I don't know the name Brian associated with the house. What was that?
It said champered and then really. It was like going nuts for a second.
That siren we heard last night's going off again.
Is it? I can't hear it from here.
It's gone off twice. It went off at exactly 9:30, and now again. And it's going 2 times in a row.
Huh.
Another time I'd been here and we heard it, we thought of a tornado siren. Now it's going again, 3 in a row.
We just had, so I'll move again so you can see this, but there's these wood slabs, right, like right behind where my dad is sitting, and we just heard like a bunch of like it sound like tapping on them, like kind of like the sound it makes when you tap on wood. And we got it twice because it happened first and then it happened again. Who is it that's down here with me? Can you tell me your name? Who is it? Who is it that I'm communicating with? Williams is wounded. That's the second time we got Williams. What
The
is it that
siren
Williams?
outside isn't stopping.
It isn't stopping?
No. Okay,
Williams?
there it stopped. It was 5 times. Did patients say something last night about how they used to have a siren connected to the mines? Like if something went wrong or there was some sort of disaster?
Yeah, I think so. I think.
I've never heard that go off that many times.
I know I definitely didn't hear it go off like that last night.
No, it was just like once. That was it.
That's weird.
And now my focus is on that window over the front yard.
So Kim just asked, well, she said that place is crazy, and will this be a 1 or 2 part episode? To be honest, Kim, it could be more than that. To be honest, kind of like this series that I'm working on right now, the Ross House series. It's looking to be a, 4, possibly 4-part, 5-part series, and I feel like the Bellaire House might be something similar. It'll probably be like more of a actual season that I put together with multi episodes. So it could very well be way over 1 or 2. It's been kind of crazy, and it kind of gets into a very long evolving story.
And for anybody that doesn't know, the Ross House is here in Bellaire, just down the street from the Bellaire House. Just down the street.
What's the scariest thing to happen there so far? Um, so I think personally, I mean, besides like the idea of waking up with an actual physical thing going on with your body that you're attributing to the paranormal, I think the creepiest thing that happened was what happened with you while you were in your solo with the attic.
Oh, yeah. At least for this visit, I would say that was it. I mean, for me personally, overall, it was that morning waking up and going downstairs to the bathroom. I don't know that anything will ever top that. But yeah,
Yeah,
last night's
I think
solo in the attic was intense.
Yeah, I think for me, like the past time that I was here, the creepiest thing was whenever it started pointing out personal things with me by calling me out by my first name, and then like basically threatening my wife to basically kill her. That was pretty intense.
And that was your first time here, right?
Yeah, that was my first time here.
Well, you'd
And
only
at the
been here one other
time,
time before, right?
yeah, that was the only other time I'd been here. And it was funny because at that point in time, we had just got married like 2 months before that happened. So it was like fresh.
Mm. I'll say a little bit about my solo in the attic last night without giving away too much because I
Right.
want people to see it in real time when we put it out there.
Right.
I did a board session up here last night. And for some reason, when I came up here, I felt compelled to bring a notepad and pencils. And something kept coming up on the board that I felt was a symbol. And I said, I'm going to draw this symbol on the paper. And then something happened where I lost a few minutes of time. And when I came back to awareness, the notepad was across the room and there were bugs and flies everywhere. When I looked at the notepad, it wasn't the symbol that was drawn on there. It was something completely different. And when I watched the video back, even the way in which I was moving my hand to grab pencils, it wasn't right. It wasn't normal.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say that was my most intense moment of this time being here.
Yeah. I would. Yeah, I would say so. That was especially just because when you came down and was telling me about it, and you wanted to watch the film back on the camera, and we watched it together. It was creepy to say the least. The way that you started moving and stuff, like it was creepy.
I completely forgot that I also said something.
Yeah.
And I won't say what it was because I want people to see this eventually. But I said something as I threw the notebook. And it didn't sound like me either.
So we had a new person come in.
Oh, that's Mandy again. Hey, Mandy.
Yeah. Hi, Bethany. Thank you for joining us today. And Mandy, to answer your question, I guess as I was sort of trying to collect more and more different pieces of paranormal equipment, because you never have enough pieces of equipment in the paranormal. Um, I had seen a lot of other investigators using the phone apps, and I'm not gonna lie, I was really skeptical about them because it's a phone app. You're like, how much is that really gonna be crucial to an investigation? And so I started playing around with all different types of apps. And I'm not going to necessarily discredit any of them because I think I've used different ones and I've liked them to an extent. And I think sometimes they can be very useful. There's some that I'm not really popular about, but um, I came across the Necrometer at just trying out different ones. And when I was basically using it versus, if we'd be doing an Estes session or other pieces of equipment, a lot of times it would not only coincide with what was being said, but sometimes it even give basically the same answer that was being said on something else. So just through basically investigating out in the field, I came to the conclusion that the Necrometer is extremely accurate in the things that it says. So that's why I like it so much. And it's nice because it's not only a cheap piece of equipment, it's only $10 on the App Store, but it's also one of those pieces of equipment that you don't have to be a big paranormal investigator to get. You can literally have any smart device and get it and just go out there and start investigating, and it's pretty accurate.
Some of the things I've seen come through there are so spot on. There's just no explaining it.
Right.
And I mean, other apps like Necrophonic instead of Necrometer, I found for me that app works better in one particular location. I have great success with Necrophonic at the old Paulding jail. Like what comes through there is unbelievable. It's the same spirits. You know who you're talking to. There's consistency. I don't have that kind of luck with that app anywhere else. But Necrometer, to me, I can get luck almost anywhere. Things that just line up in the most inexplicable way. Like we used it at Whispers when we were there.
Yeah.
And the things it was saying to me when I was in the room by myself and you were over in the other room, that was just screwed up. I mean, it was saying some very personal things.
Yeah.
My favorite, I have to tell the Billy Creek story about Necrometer. It's my favorite.
Yeah, tell that story.
I was so mad. So Billy Creek Village, for anybody that doesn't know, is a collection of historic buildings in Rockville, Indiana. These buildings are from all over the place. They were supposed to be demolished. Instead of demolishing them, they moved them and set them up in a village square style setting. So there's a schoolhouse, there's a couple of churches, there's a doctor's office, a general store, a printing press, and then off in the distance, there's an old Civil War era farmhouse. And anybody that knows me, anybody that's listened to me for more than 10 seconds, knows that I'm very deeply connected to the Civil War farmhouse. When we filmed there, It was obvious that we were going to be spending time at the Civil War house, but I'd set an intention that I don't want to go there until the end. We have to do something else first. So when we went into the village square and I pulled out a set of dowsing rods, for those that don't know how rods work, I was going to let the spirits manipulate the rods and point us to where they wanted us to go. That siren's going off again.
Yeah, I hear it that time. That's the first time I've heard it.
I was going to let the spirits there manipulate the rods and point us to where they wanted us to go. And I said, you cannot point over my shoulder at the Civil War house. You have to take us somewhere in the square. And they did. They pointed us to the schoolhouse. I felt like it was reluctant. I don't feel like it quickly pointed us there.
Right.
I felt like whatever spirit was connected to those rods was dragging its feet. It didn't want to do it. So we made our way to the schoolhouse, went inside, started to set up. I sat down at the teacher's desk. You turned on Necrometer, and Necrometer instantly said, remote farmhouse. I was so mad. After I told them they couldn't use the rods, I was so mad.
Yeah, that was one of the funniest things ever, man. That was awesome.
Someone thinks they're funny, laughing. That's all. It's like I say about my spirit guide. He thinks he's funny.
He is funny, man. I'll tell you what, I'll die on that hill. He is funny.
Well, in some ways, you get to talk to him more than I do.
True. I guess that's valid. So Kim asked in the comments, what would be y'all's deal breaker to make you leave a location? Like, what would be too scary to stay?
If it started on fire.
Well, that'd be bad. Like, I guess I can't stand in a burning building. That'd be pretty bad.
If I don't leave because of bats, there's not much of anything that's going to get me to go.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I've never come across anything, and I've seen some creepy stuff.
Oh, did Bethany say something about the Civil War?
Oh, no, she said, gotta love those spirit guides.
No, there was a comment right before that. I think I saw Civil War.
Yeah, maybe there was. Oh, yeah, she's Civil War with a heart.
See, I can't see anything, but I can see that.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I've never really come across anything that has made me so fearful that I was like, oh, I'm gonna leave. So I don't know. Like, I like to think that unless it was something extremely bizarre that I wouldn't, but just because telekinesis. That would be creepy if I just saw something like be thrown across the room like that chair behind me. That'd be weird.
Just make sure there's no fishing line attached to the chair.
Oh my! We're not. Yeah. Do we even
We're not talking about this.
Yeah, I don't know that we have. It just said Jacob.
Jacob Hetherington.
Yeah, Jacob Hetherington. Yeah, it just said Jacob. I'll bring it up.
He was the original.
Fertile land. It's like Sean.
Wow.
It says scene, but like it's spelled Sean.
That's interesting for Jacob to come through.
Yeah.
No, when I think of some of the things I have experienced, like, I mean, I've been sleeping alone inside of FCI, and there's been a knock on the door to the room I'm sleeping in. That wasn't enough to make me pack my bags and leave.
Right.
I left here the night I woke up with the black eyes because I knew I needed to go and cleanse myself. I think ISS is probably one of the most overall terrifying places I've been. The Indiana State Sanatorium, for anybody that doesn't know what that is. This past year's Covered Bridge Festival, I was out there that extra night because we filmed the next day at Billy Creek.
Right.
I had ISS to myself that Sunday night. And I was roaming the grounds and the buildings like a kid in a playground. I was as happy as could be. So there's really not a lot that would get me to run out of somewhere. Now, I have had nights where my night was cut short because the bats were so bad. That's happened to me at Post Town Elementary. Like at midnight, I called it quits and I went in the sleeping room and I said, I'm done. I can't do it anymore because the bats were so bad. I guess it's my answer. It's the bats that could get me to leave.
Yeah, it's the bats.
I'm trying to see what Bethany said here.
She said, "I live in Indiana. My son went there twice this year. That's awesome. I love that place."
There's a lot of really great locations in Indiana. I mean, between ISS and Billy Creek, there's the Rhodes Hotel in Atlanta, Indiana. There's the Asher Walton House right around the corner from the Rhodes Hotel. There's the State House in the ladybugs are getting violent. That's why I jumped. There's the State House in Fort Wayne. Of course, there's Whispers Estate in Mitchell, Indiana. So Indiana's got some great locations.
Obviously, for me, Stark Saloon.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, there's all kinds of great haunted locations in Indiana.
Yeah, it's a great location to investigate. There's so much.
So I just had on the necrometer. It said seeking answers. Do you think that could be Jacob?
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Is Jacob seeking answers?
He doesn't normally come through to me, but I think with the ways in which we connected to the other Hetheringtons last night, I can see how he might make his way through.
Right. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an unforgettable night.
Yeah, I think that's to say the least.
Well, we've been just over an hour here, so I think that's just about bringing us to the end of the show.
Yeah, but I want to thank everybody for being here with us. It's been an amazing time. We've had all kinds of stuff go on as we've made it through this, but yeah, I just want to thank you guys again so much for having me. This was awesome experience. I can't wait to do this again with you.
Sometime when we're in a different location, we'll put me under. We'll do an Estes session, just not here. It's not the right place for it. We'll do that another time. What's this last comment here? I can't see.
Oh, yeah, it's Kim. She said, y'all should do a multiple location video, like 3 locations one night, make it like a 2-3 hour movie. That would be awesome. Or maybe a live investigation. Take us with you. There's certain places I think that there's locations close enough that you could kind of do that. But especially the live investigation. That's the one that really gets my attention the most, because that is something I would like to do at some point is do a live investigation.
For sure. We'll get that out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when we're back in 2 weeks, we'll plan on bringing in a guest next time. So whoever it is, we don't know yet, but it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.